Hey, what's up, guys? So this is gonna be a really different video, and basically, I'm gonna open up to you guys a little bit about me, so you guys know who I am more on a personal level than just a guy that talks about mobile tech. So, where to begin? We'll start off where I was born. I was actually born in Florida. Um, that's where my birth certificate says I was born. Because I really can't say I was born there. I wasn't there. I came out there, but I wasn't actually there. Um, so, anyways, yeah, I was born in Florida, and my father was in the United States Air Force at the time. So I was a military brat. Um, didn't stay there very long because he got stationed in Clark Air Force Base in the Philippines, which was the Philippines. I have to say is a really really cool place. Um, I love the food. The culture is like pretty awesome. It gets kind of scary there, at times. It depends where you travel. Um, but so I was in Clark Air Base for a long time. Had some pretty good friends. A lot of my fondest memories. And yeah, a volcano erupted there, Mount Pinatubo, like one of the biggest volcanic eruptions in Southeast Asia. Uh, when that happened, we had to leave. Well, me and my older sister had to leave because civilians had to evacuate off the Philippines islands, and military personnel had to stay behind. So I got to ride on the USS Abraham Lincoln, which is an aircraft carrier that's super huge and really big. I mean, they got a mall inside that thing. I was seasick, so I didn't get to explore as much as my older sister did. She was very lucky I wasn't at the moment. But the last day that we were on the aircraft carrier, the captain of the ship brought me up to the bridge to show me around, and then allowed the some of the personnel to take me on the flight deck, where I got to actually see an F-15 take off just for like a routine. It was going out for like a routine fly or whatever. I got to see it take off. It was pretty cool. From there, we were dropped off in Guam, where my mother lived at, because my dad and my mom were divorced. And I got to stay with my mom for some time. It was pretty cool. I mean, I didn't grow up in like a wealthy family, but I would never wish to, because my best memories come from those times. My mom did everything she could to give me and my sister what we needed and what we wanted, and we stayed in this really small 2-bedroom apartment, but it was pretty cool. Stayed there for a while. My dad retired out of the Air Force, and he took a job in Hawaii, and my sister wanted to go, and my dad does not believe in splitting up brother and sister, so both of us went with him, and we moved to Hawaii, where a lot of my early adolescent years are spent. And in that time, I was always bouncing back and forth because I was a troublemaker. So I guess kind of being a troublemaker was a bonus rather than a negative impact, because at times, when I didn't want to be around my dad, I flew to where my mom had moved to, which was she moved to Buckley, Washington, which is like I think like 2 hours away from Seattle. Pretty cool place, and famous for where they shot the movie Black Sheep with Chris Farley. They shot a couple of scenes there at the rec center that was there. Very small town, but pretty awesome. I love the weather in Washington State. Like the cold weather is where I first got introduced to it there, and I really loved it. So yeah, I bounced back and forth between there, and then stayed in Hawaii. Made some bad decisions and dropped out of high school, and because of that, could hardly find a job at the age of 18 and 19. So I wound up being homeless for like 2.5 years. Was like the most crappiest thing to ever go through. But my dad at the time was living in Oklahoma and had talked to me about a place called Job Corps, so I decided to go for it. Went to Job Corps in Guthrie, Oklahoma. I had my dad who lived in Oklahoma, so it was like pretty cool. I had family nearby if I needed family to come visit me, but I stayed on campus in the dorms. And I got my lithographic arts degree. I got my GED, and then I didn't want to leave because, when you get opportunities like that, you want to kind of, seize them. So after I got my GED, I enrolled into what was called a STARS program to get a high school diploma out of the state of Maryland. So I got all those. Left there and lived in Oklahoma for a while, got married, moved to Texas, where I worked for a company called Sitel, which was outsourced for Verizon Wireless. Really cool place. And that piqued my interest in mobile technology. Just trying to, learning how this whole thing worked, like how phones were activated and things like that, which came very handy. Um, Worked for them for a couple of years, then switched over to Convergence, which was another call center, and I worked with them under the AT&T contract. So, pretty much is where I started grabbing up knowledge of CDMA and GSM. Also, I worked for a few times for the correctional facilities. I worked for a company called CCA, which was Corrections Corporation America. It's a private company. And while it was cool to do all the training and stuff like that, and get a little bit of insight at the time, I was interested in criminal justice. It just wasn't for me. Very dangerous work. Like I tip my hat to anyone who's in corrections. Like that is some scary moments because they're never really fully staffed, and basically in just almost any prison, the inmates, they outpopulate the guards like 4-1 or 5-1. Okay, so I mean, yeah, they're really short staffed in prison. So gotta give respect to corrections officers for actually having the balls to put themselves in a dangerous situation just to keep those people that are dangerous locked up. Anyways, right now I'm currently divorced. Yeah. Divorce sucks, but I have no ill feelings towards my ex-wife. Like, everything's cool. We're not the best of friends, but we're not enemies either. So that's thumbs up. Um, and of course, you guys see my kids in several videos, so you guys know that who my kids are. I really try not to share too much of my kids because no one needs to know so much about them, um, unless I trust people. But anyways, so yeah. Other cool things that I've done. I was like heavy into skating at 17, 18, 19. Skating. That's what I did to pass the times when I was homeless. It was, like I'll go to the skate park. I would hustle up some money somewhere somehow just to get something to eat. That was my thing. So yeah, that's a little bit about me, I guess. Not everything entirely. I skipped a whole bunch of timelines, but those are just probably like the fondest memories that I have. Even being, like I said, even being homeless, like well, most people would be like, "Wow, that kind of sucks." At the same time, too, you tend to appreciate the things that you have now, and then every little thing that you get, you treat like gold because you think back and remember you didn't have shit. So, but anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Whether you guys actually cared or not to watch it. If you guys did, you guys found it interesting, thank you. And yeah, I'll see you in another video, guys.